This is a common problem for the E92, E93, E90, old generations with moisture getting in the trunk. Moisture could come in many different ways. The most common problem is through the taillight being loose or the taillight gasket being damaged. You'll have moisture coming in through the rain coming in through the trunk, or the trunk seal. If that's damaged, you'll have water coming in and settling in the battery tray. So you'll have water coming in, corroding the wires from inside the battery tray. As you can see, my bolt got so corroded that it was stripping, so I had to cut it off. And from the outside, the splash guard where the rear quarter panel is, if that plastic is missing to remove the damage, if you're in the northeast, the salt can corrode. When this problem gets really bad, you can have power voltage codes, and in the worst case scenario, your car probably will not start. No power to the starter. So to do this job, you have to remove the exhaust, you have to lower the subframe, lower the gas tank. You don't got to take it out the car, but just lower it just enough so you have room to take out and reinstall the new wire. All right, guys, excuse my dirty hands, but car guys don't get no girls. I ain't touching no girls tonight, but this is how it's supposed to look. All nice and insulated. Mine, it's all beat up and corroded, and every time I touched it, the plastic was breaking off like it was nothing. Dry rotting. Rubbish. Now, we go into the car now. Look at this. The gas tank is dropped. You gotta drop the gas tank. With my fuel pump, 2 fuel pumps in there, but the wire comes from the trunk right there where those 2 holes is, goes over the subframe, comes down over here, then goes over the gas tank. So you got to drop it, and it goes underneath the car to that hole right there, and there's a whole bunch of 10mm bolts holding it up to the car. Comes out this hole, then goes through another hole right here up into the engine bay, comes up underneath the DME box, and look where it bolts up to the power wire. So those 2 wires at the front goes to there, which is on the other side of this. Nice BMW for making my day a living hell. Thank you. So to get it through, easiest way, I took off the bracket, the rear bracket. I'm gonna put it back on because I like my car OEM spec, but put the bracket back on, got the wire all the way through. I'm gonna put it up through the hole, and the rear end is done. Now then I can put everything back up. Subframe, gas tank, all of that shit. Nice. Front part's easy. We saved the easy part for last. The bracket is installed. Uses tape to line up to how far it's supposed to go on the wire harness. You can take this off, don't need the tape no more. Yeah, time to put it back in its OEM location. Coming along. Respect the build. Wire snap back in. Now's the time to bolt everything back up in place. Same way we took it out. The fighter jet got more power than ever. Let's go. So I'm about to show you how this line is routed since I finished, and everything's back to its original place. It starts from the trunk, goes along the frame of the car, and it goes over the subframe. This is why we had to drop it. See the bracket right there holding it up? Goes over the subframe, and it comes back down, wraps around with the evap hose. Here's the gas tank right here. It goes over on top of the gas tank, and then it runs along the side of the frame behind the gas tank. There's a bolt right there that's very hard to get to, and then it goes along the body and the passenger side of the car. So we got all the fittings. I put new zip ties on, all the original fittings. Goes underneath the body of the car, up through the hole right there that leads to the fender. Comes out through the fender, goes up into the engine bay through that hole, and ends up right there in the DME box. You could just fish it through, it'll fit perfectly. Finish. Everything's all buttoned back up. Make sure the 2 wires that go down there, that one of them right here, the red one, this one will make the car not start once it's fully corroded. So make sure if you got any corrosion between these 2 wires, change them 2 up top. I have extra stuff because I got a secondary fuel pump set up and a hob switch, so don't mind these extra power wires and fuses. That's where everything goes, and you're good to go after that. Oh, and make sure you clean down there too if your battery tray looks extra corroded. You know, you want to keep it minty as possible.